conditional programming or branching is something you do every day, every moment. It's about evaluating conditions. If the light is red, then I can cross. If I'm hungry, I need to eat. And if I am late for work, then I will call my boss. And the main tool is the if statement, which comes in different forms and colors, but its basic function is to evaluate an expression and based on the result choose which part of the code to execute. As usual, let's look at this example here. So if I am is late here and true here, true, and after that we will, if is late is true, then print I need to call my boss. And this is possible the simplest example. So when fed to if statement, the is late acts as a conditional expression which is evaluated in a Boolean context. And remember that is late here, this is late variable here is Boolean, not string, not value, tuple, or anything. It is a Boolean. It's another primitive type, Boolean. You will learn about that in next lectures also. So Boolean also Boolean has two values, either false or true. So if the result of the evaluation is true, then we enter the body of the code immediately after the if statement. Notice that the print instruction is indented, which means that it belongs to scope defined by the if here, and as you can see, this is indentation here. So if we run this code, as you can see, I need to call my boss. If we make it is late false, so we are not late for now, and as you can see, we didn't evaluate anything. So this code didn't work or didn't need it to work here. So depending on the result of evaluating the is late expression, we can either enter block 1 or block 2, but not both. So block 1 is executed when late evaluates to true, while block 2 here is executed when the late evaluates to false. So trying assigning false and true to this is late to see how the output of this code changes accordingly. So in this example, also introduced the else clause in which becomes very handy when we want to provide an alternative set of instructions to be executed when an expression evaluates to false within an if clause. So the else clause is optional, as is evident by comparing preceding two examples, and with these examples we will do in next lecture. So I'm waiting you in next lecture. Often you will want to take one action when a conditional test passes and different action in all other cases. Python's if-else syntax makes this possible. The if-else block is similar to a simple if statement, but the else statement allows you to define an action or set of actions that are executed and run when the conditional test fails. When the if test fails, and in this case we will execute else. So we will display some message here. Now let's write something that, for example, we have a car here, and actually let's draw a car here. And we don't want this car to for example, older than 10 years, right? So let's make this 10 years. So we want this car to less than 10 years, so we will want a new car, right? And that's why we're gonna do here that let's make, for example, car model. Here it's going, in this case let's make it BMW, and car year In this case, let's make it 2015, and here we will add if our car model, so car year minus 2023. In this case, of course, today's year is 2023. And actually, let's delete this for now. Also delete this. And now, car year minus 2023 is, so our car year, for example, in this case, our car year is going to be 8, while 8 is less than 10, then it will evaluate true, right? So in this case, print your car is, and we will also use format here. Format your car is car year minus 2023 years old, and it's almost new, right? And here we will also add else statement. If our car has age of more than 10, we will write this here. Else print sorry, I don't want, or sorry, our company doesn't buy cars that more that age is more than 10. And after we will print again, and your car age is, of course we need to add F here, format car year minus 2023. Your car, or yes, actually instead of car we can also write BMW, right? So, or car model is years old and it's almost new and we can buy it. And here in else, sorry, our company doesn't buy BMW. Let's actually add another format here. So we will add F here and format car model that age is more than 10 and car year here. Now let's run this. And as you can see here, your BMW, oops, actually we need to do this opposite here. Sorry for this. We got right numbers, but we got negative here. So we need to do this. We need to subtract our car year from 2023. Let's do the same here. And now your BMW is 8 years old and it's almost new. We can buy it. But in else here, else command here is didn't execute it because if here evaluated true. If we make our car year, for example, 2005, then it will give your BMW is 18 years old and it almost, no, oops, car year. Of course, we need to change it again. 2023 minus car year. And here we will get else here. Sorry, our company doesn't buy BMW that age is more than 10 and your car age is 18. So in first example, actually, let's try again, 2015. So in this example, our if conditional test passes and the first block of this print here call is executed. So if the test evaluates to false, then the else block is executed. For example, 2005, and in this case, our false will not be executed because it is here, because it is false, right? So it will not execute. Instead, our else command here will execute here. So this code works because it has only two possible situations to evaluate. A car is either old enough or not, right? So the if-else structures works well in situations in which you want Python to always execute one of possible situations or actions. So in a simple if-else chain like this, one of two actions will always be executed, no matter if our car year is 1000 or some here. As you can see, sorry, our company doesn't buy BMW, that age is more than 10. Programming often involves examining a set of conditions and deciding which action to take based on these conditions. Python's if statement allows you to examine the current state of a program and respond appropriately to that state. In this section, you will learn to write conditional tests, which allow you to check any condition of interest, and you will learn to write simple if statements, and you will learn how to create a more complex series of if statements to identify when the exact conditions you want are present. And you will then apply this concept to lists, and so you will be able to write a for loop that handles most items in a list one way, but handles certain items with specific values in different way. So this example here, we will show the if tests that let you respond to special situations correctly. Imagine you have a list of cars and you want to print out the name of each car. So car names are proper names, so the names of most cars will be printed in title names, title case. However, the value BMW here should be printed in all uppercase, and here we will do that right now. So we will car makers here, and after that we will equal to, so first we will enter the Volkswagen, the BMW, the Toyota, Ford, and G. And here we will use the for car in car makers, and here, so if car equals to BMW, then we will print the car dot upper, and else here we will print the car dot title. That's it. So now let's run it. That's it here. If BMW, that's it. Now this will work here. So now the loop in this example first checks if the current value of a car is BMW. If it is, the value is printed in uppercase here with this function, right? If the value of a car is anything other than a BMW, it is printed in a title case. And here, this is our output here. All of these names are written in title case, but here BMW is written in uppercase. So this example combines a number of concepts you will learn about in this section. Let's begin by looking at the kinds of tests you can use to examine the conditions in your program. So we can also use conditional tests in Python. So at the heart of every if statement is an expression that can be evaluated as true or false, right? So Python uses the values true and false to decide whether the code is in an if statement should be executed or not. So if a conditional test evaluates true, then Python executes the code following the if statement. So if the test evaluates false, Python ignores the code following the if statement. We can also check for equality. So the most conditional tests compare the current value of a variable to the specific value of interest. So the simplest conditional test checks whether the value of a variable is equal to the value of an interest. In order to do that, we will just delete for now our for loop, and we will print here now car equals BMW here, or let's actually instead of writing that, let's use car makers. BMW's index is 1, BMW, and BMW here. So now, as you can see, we got an error, cannot assign to a function call. So here, that is, we're gonna get an error if you try to do that. However, if you try this in Python console, which we will now, here we opened our Python now. You can reach this by using just Python. And here you're gonna see this Python 64-bit or 32-bit. You just enter that, and here you can see the new tab opened. Here, let's actually make it closer. So most conditional lattice are compare the current value of a variable to a specific value of interest. Let's create a new value named car here and make it BMW. And after that, we will check the is car equal to BMW. And here you can see we got true. So the first line here, actually let me get this. So this first line, let me fix this. Now here, this first line here sets the value of a car. Sets the value of a car to BMW using a single equal sign. So here we used the single equal sign here, right? As you've seen many times already, this sign. So the next line checks whether the value of a cars is BMW here. You see here? Oops, actually, let's use different color here. So now we are checking this by using a double equal sign. Double equal sign. Here, car is BMW. So this is an equality operator. So so this equality operator here, this is named equality operator. Let me actually write that here. This is equality operator. So here, this equality operator returns true, like in this case, if the values on the left and the right side of the operator match. In this case, these are matched. So car is actually equals to BMW. Actually, let me use the different color. So here, our car is equals to BMW here, because we already assigned that in first line, and our BMW here equals to BMW, right? So we are checking this BMW. And here they match. In this case, they will return true. That's it. But here the values in this example match, so Python returns true. So when the value of a car is anything other than a BMW, for example, let's try car equal the Jeep here, we will get false. If car equal uppercase B, BMW, we will get false again, because these equality operator are case sensitive in strings. So here, if we try something, ice cream, we will get false again. So that's it here with operator. So a single equal sign is really a statement, and you might read the first line of a code here that we are setting set the value of a car equal to, for example, Jeep. On the other hand, a double equal sign asks a question. Let me actually write that down. Some new programmers might confuse this with initialization here. So this double equal signs asks here asks this. Let me get this text here. This asks this. So is the value of car equal to BMW? So here our double equal sign asks whether a value of this value of a car in this case is variable, right? Because we use this car as a variable name, and here is the value of car equal to BMW. In this case it's equal, so it will return true.